this is what the user GUI is going to look like. And the first thing that you'll notice is there's two windows. So we have a signals pending window. We also have a signals on hold window. So what that's going to do is just display the signals that are coming into the system that are pending, sitting in the queue, and additional signals that have been placed on hold for additional action based on what the action plan is within your dispatch center or command center. So what you'll notice is these signals have come into this queue. They're color coded here with red, blue, and you'll also see some yellow here. And what you also notice is they're filtered by priority, and that can all be completely customizable based on your needs. So based on whatever signals you have coming in, you can customize those by priority or select a different color code as well. But just to go ahead and start the demonstration here, I'll go ahead and click one of these signals to bring that to the screen. First thing we'll notice is an Audible Alert. And what that Audible Alert is obviously just going to notify the operators in the dispatch center. So, you know, there could be a lot of things going on in your dispatch center where there's a video wall, there's an access control system, everyone's on the phone at once. But anyways, just letting everyone know that there is a signal that has come in that requires acknowledgement. So all I've done to silence that signal was either click on my mouse or click on any button on the keyboard, and that'll automatically update the signal log summary here. So that signal has come through, it's been acknowledged, and on the top third of the screen, you'll see all of the relevant information for this account being the facility that alarm came from, or where it originated from. So you'll have account number, account name, address, any permit or password information that's required, what type of account. You can keep location information in here as well. For your dispatch staff, and you'll see the current signal information. So the current signal is a fire alarm tied into a point or zone, also time and date stamp. So based on this information, I can go ahead and dispatch. And in order to do that, based on the call here, all I would have to do is just select call next. And what that'll do as an operator is allow me a list, a preloaded list of phone numbers to contact. So of course that's going to take out the thinking. So it's going to provide just a dispatch procedure on who to contact for this specific phone or this specific alarm. We can select the premise if we want to verify that alarm. I can hit talk or dial, and we have IP integration with IP phones as well, so it'll auto dial for you. Here, this will go ahead and I can keep any notes. I can make a manual note, of course, or I can right click my mouse, and what you'll see here is a drop down list of quick resolve options or common responses. So if I wasn't able to contact anyone at the premise, I could go ahead and select that and hit call next, and it'll automatically give me the next phone number on the list. So again, taking out the thinking for the operator, for the dispatch staff, automating that information and keeping it as simple as possible. So from here, I could go ahead and select that I've dispatched the fire department, hit OK, and I can go ahead and again place an additional manual note if I wanted to do that. I could review the information in the signal log as far as what steps have been taken, or I can go ahead and place this signal on hold, or I can save this signal to the account database. Now, if I place the signal on hold, it'll allow me to place that signal on hold for a specified amount of time or indefinitely based on the criteria that's been loaded into the software during setup. Now, of course, depending on the dispatch procedure, I could go ahead and save this to the database, or if I'm waiting on a response, I'll just place this on hold for a specified amount of time. And what you'll notice is when I place that signal on hold, it was also included a 15-minute timer. So within 15 minutes, if I haven't taken action in that signal, we'll automatically push that signal back into the pending window. So again, just wanted to go through the dispatch procedure. I'll pull up a couple of additional signals just to show the differences, the variations of what the system actually looks like and what we can do. I'll pull up the burglary signal here. Again, top third of the screen, you have all the relevant information for this account. And also we have what's called our graphic aid module. Again, we have on the top third of the screen, we have all of the relevant information for this specific account. And in addition to the standard dispatch procedure where we would just make that phone call, as an operator, we can also have what we call our graphic aid module. And our graphic aid module is going to allow us to see a schematic of a building, a floor plan, or even a map. So we can create additional layers for the operator to be able to dispatch and see that information. So it's going to provide some visualization. It's going to provide additional information on where that alert is being originated from. And from here, we could go ahead and take the additional steps for the same additional steps for dispatch. Again, we can go ahead and select from that list of common responses, or I could just select that we're testing the system. Okay. We also have video integration as an add-on as well, which is ONVIF compliant. So in the background, we also received a pop-up for video. We can verify the alarm based on the point. And that's also being saved to the database. So again, based on the information that we're programming into the software, we're going to get that information out. So we're going to be aggregating all those alerts. All that information is going to be coming in from these different facilities. And based on the different action plans that we create for your dispatch staff, we're going to be able to load that in directly into the software without any operator intervention. I'll go ahead and save this account to the database. And you'll notice we also have what's called a quick log signals option. So there were 26 additional signals from this account. So what the software will allow me to do is log these signals with the same actions and notes as this current signal. So we're not creating redundant work for your dispatch staff. So those are a few of the different variations of how we can actually dispatch alarms and dispatch alerts, whether it's the standard dispatch or if it's additional add-ons like video verification or graphic aid. And what I wanted to do was pull up an account, just going to show you how we set that information up. So what I'll do is pull up an account itself, and you'll notice again, top third of the screen is always going to be that relevant information for the account. And we also have these tabs set up for the user for the account information. So this is where we're able to load in these different phone numbers based on what type of alert you're receiving. So we can load in several different types of phone lists based on a general alarm, based on a fire alarm, based on a burglary alarm. So depending on what type of alarm that's being connected to or what type of alert, it's also going to trigger which phone list it's going to provide for your operating staff. The next tab is your history tab. This is a just general snapshot of the last 100 signals. Will allow you to go in and see the last 100 signals for this specific account. Will also allow you to go and see the signal log as well for that account and what information or what steps have been taken for that alert. Miscellaneous tab is just high-level options on where we're setting up a lot of the data for the account, whether it's test mode or reoccurring test signals, auto paging as well, where we can automatically send out an alert based on an alert or an alarm. The software will automatically email or text message someone on site. So we can do that through auto paging. We also have auto reports, which will automatically send out reports on a weekly or scheduled basis. We have our notepad here for the account, which is going to allow you to keep miscellaneous information for this specific account. We also have our schedule tab that's going to allow you to monitor schedules for the facility, whether you're monitoring open and closes. You can do that here and load in the schedule information. You can view this in a grid, or you can also view this in a graph. What's nice about the graph here is that if you need to extend your schedule, you can just click and drag here based on what day or what time you need to extend the schedule here. And what you'll also notice is we have tolerances for open early and open late, and close early and close late as well. So if someone opens an hour before the actual open time, so if we're planned on opening the office at 7 a.m. every day, and let's say someone opens at 5:30, the alarm center will automatically create an open early. It will generate that open early signal, letting you know that there was an open early for that facility. And we also have overrides, which are holidays. So those are common days that perhaps the account should not receive any open or close at all. So you can set that up directly here within the software. The next tab is our users tab, where we're going to be able to track the specific users at the facility, their user code, user password and user ID, and what type of user there are as well. We can set up additional users for a standard user or a master administrative user that may have additional rights at the panel level. And the next tab is our zones tab, or our points tab. So this is where we're going to be able to tie in specifics with video verification. We had talked about video verification of alarms. So we have ONVIF compliance with video verification profile S. And we can also set up directly the graphical aid module, where we can tie in the graphical aid directly into the point. So based on the alert and the point that's coming in, we also have that pop up for graphical aid. So that's a high-level overview of the accounts. What I'd like to do now is actually go and show you some of the reporting features. We looked at that through the history tab, but specifically we can pull up signal history reports for all events. And you'll notice that we can pull this up for all events, or we can create additional filters on specific event types. So we could do all events, or we could filter based on which events you wanted to create a report on. Now these reports are, of course, are data driven and are going to show all of the events that have come in unless you create additional filters. Again, I say that the reports are data driven because it's simply that. It's going to show the signals and what actions were taken, which is great because you always want a snapshot of that. And that kind of just leads me into some additional reporting options that we have, which are a little bit more visual. And I always like to show these because this is going to allow us to view top 10 accounts. So you'll be able to see your most active accounts within your dispatch center. And you can also create here a little chart to be able to show you that, and then show you which account is the most active. So perhaps you can dial down a little bit or look into why this account may be more active than some of your other accounts. That also, an additional report like that with visualization is going to be a top 10 signal account, top 10 signal types. And that's going to show you your top 10 signals that you received within the command center or dispatch center. So that's going to show you, hey, I'm receiving a lot of intrusion or burglary. I'm not really receiving maybe a certain type of alarm. So you can kind of maybe do some investigation of maybe why are there so many burglary signals coming in from these different accounts. And we also have an additional visual report that I'd like to show specifically that shows you for operator statistics. I think this is really nice because it's going to help with labor forecasting, and perhaps there's certain times of the day that you have maybe too many operators on staff, or maybe one operator is much more productive than the other, and maybe that's a training issue that, of course, our tech support team can help you with. So this one is another visual report that I actually like to look at because it shows you, again, productivity by operator. So I wanted to also go in and show you a couple of quick features within the Alarm Center itself, as far as just showing you the different complexities on how you can set up different operators. So we had talked about setting up different levels of access within the software. And what you'll notice here is we can set up a system admin, which would have access rights to the entire database and functionality within the software. And you can also set up different operator groups, like a day operator, a supervisor, or even night operator. And my point there is that that's going to actually change the complexity of the software. So what's going to happen is when someone logs in as a day operator, they may not have the complete view of the entire software. They may not be able to edit an account or change a phone list. You may not want someone with lower access rights to be able to change the database or remove information. So that's a nice feature that's going to create a little bit of checks and balances there. You're going to be able to lock in the actual administrative rights of a login of an operator. And another thing that kind of ties into is an additional reporting feature for management. And what that's going to do is allow you to view operator system events. I always find this helpful for a site when they're having issues with data, or if onboarding or offboarding. What you'll be able to do is see operator system events by login. So if it'll actually show you every step that's been taken within the software and what signals have been logged, what information has been added, what information has been removed. And again, that's an additional reporting feature with our operator system events. Again, that goes into our options here within the software. There's so many different complexities on how it can be set up. But the one thing that we always want to stress is ease of use. Again, we want to keep the software as easy to use as possible. It's the same interface. It's just different data that's coming in. How are we aggregating those different alerts? And what is the action plan that's being set up within your dispatch center? So again, that's a high-level overview of the software, the dispatch procedures, and some additional reporting features as well.